Print on demand is one of the easiest businesses to launch, especially going into 2026. But that doesn't mean it's all rainbow and sunshine. There is a lot that I wish I knew before I started. And if I did, I could have filled my pockets 10 times faster. So in this video, I'm gonna break down 25 truths to help you build and scale to 7 figures way faster than I did. So let's get into this. Now, number one is the product quality. This is one of the biggest frustrations with print on demand. See, you don't have control over the quality. You're putting your brand and your name on a product that someone else is making for you. You're trusting that the production partner is going to deliver exactly what's in your catalog. And that is risky, unless you do your homework. That's why I always tell people, order your samples every time. Don't just look at the mock-up and cross your fingers. See, when you get that sample in and it's in your hands, you know exactly what your customer is going to get, from the print quality to the packaging. And if it's not up to your standards, then don't wait. Use a different provider. See, Printify has a ton of different options. And it's not about loyalty to just one production partner within their framework. It's about protecting your brand and making sure your buyers don't receive trash. So buy samples, make sure they look good, and then use that production partner to deliver your products. Now, number two is you can't buy in bulk. And this isn't a downside, but it is a fact. See, with POD, there is no bulk discounts, meaning your margins are a little low. You're paying pretty much the same cost whether you sell 1 or 100. And that's all because there's no traditional inventory or mass production process. If you were to outsource this by going overseas, say China or Korea, then you'd get better margins. But that comes with huge headaches. You'd have to deal with inventory, storage, shipping, delays, customs, and a whole bunch of shit that you don't want to sign up for. I mean, when I did physical, I was dropping 10K a month on just my warehouse and my employees. It's not fun, trust me. So yeah, you lose a little bit on your margins, but you gain your time and your sanity back. Plus, if you actually dial in and read the expenses going through the report, you actually do make pretty good money, because when shit fucking breaks at your warehouse, you're usually responsible for it. And that sucks. Now, number three, shipping times. This one hurts. See, Amazon has ruined expectations. People think that you're supposed to get something pretty much the same day now. They place that order, click that buy button, then they immediately run to the door looking for it. With POD, it doesn't work like that. The item has to be made first, then shipped. And that's where people panic when they see that whole 7 to 10 day delivery time. But the best workaround would be personalization. See, when a product is personalized, then customers expect to wait. They know it's being made just for them, which gives you more grace. It also speaks to them. It's special, it's one of a kind, it's theirs. And that comes with value, more money, and allowing for longer wait time. Now, if your product isn't personalized, then you better damn well make sure that your mockup and your product page justifies that wait, or they're probably bouncing. Now, number four is you're gonna get blamed for things you didn't even do. And this one is a gut punch. Your manufacturer screws up, your customer complains, you have to take that hit. You didn't mess up the print, and you didn't delay the shipping, but your name is on that package, so it's your problem. Welcome to business. And the worst thing you could do is, honestly, point your fingers at someone else. That doesn't build trust. You have to take ownership. Now, I know this one may be hard, and trust me, I feel you. No one wants to get yelled at, and especially for shit that they didn't do. See, when I worked at Samsung, I would get yelled at from my team all the time, and I never blamed any of them. I took those hits, and I agreed, I fucked up, not them. Then I handled it behind the scenes, which is what I want you to do. Nothing in the open, all behind closed doors. Get on your production partner's ass and let them know, hey, you dropped the ball. Make sure this doesn't happen again. And if it does, the quick alternative, use a different production partner. It's your reputation. Remember that. Now, number five is product options are limited. See, you can only sell what your provider offers. You can't just invent a new product and expect Printify or Printful to suddenly stock it. You're at the mercy of the catalog. And even within that, there are limitations. Some items, like mugs for example, can't be printed edge to edge due to how sublimation works. So your design options are also restricted. It's not a deal breaker, of course, but it's something that you need to be aware of, especially before you spend hours designing something that won't even print the way you imagined. Now, number six is your packaging is going to be boring. Let's be real. Most POD items show up in a plain poly mailer or a basic cardboard box. There's no branding, there's no unboxing experience, nothing that screams wow. And unless you're working with a supplier that allows for custom packaging, which usually comes with a much higher price tag, that's what your customers are going to get. Now you can add inserts and thank you cards to boost that experience, and this will definitely help you. However, there is some good news. Even Amazon is shipping stuff in boring packaging now, so your customers are a little bit more forgiving than they used to be. But don't expect the packaging alone to wow them into becoming a repeat buyer. You need to make sure you give them something in there. Add that insert card, give them a little thank you, maybe a QR code to have them sign up for emails. Provide something that they cannot resist because you want them to keep coming back. Now, number 7 is nobody cares who you are. And this one right here is a punch to your ego. You could spend hours, days designing, writing, copying, launching your store, and no one's going to buy. And that's all because no one knows who the hell you are. Your one listing or your website is a sea of millions. People aren't sitting around clicking refresh, trying to find your brand. They're busy. And if you don't put your stuff in front of their face, then they're never gonna see it. Now, sure, people may say, well, there's organic traffic. Cool. So I just launched a web page right before this video. Have you seen it yet? No, because you have no fucking clue it even exists. You need ads. You need visibility. If you're not running ads, shouting on social, or getting your product out there, then you're invisible. So get loud or get left behind. Now, number 8 is margins are tight, which we talked about in the beginning. I'm gonna break this down. Say a shirt costs you $10 to make and you sell it for $25. After fees and shipping and all that, you're walking away with say $5 to $7. Now compare that to traditional retail, where a shirt might cost you only $1 and you can make and sell it for $25. You'll probably see the difference, right? But don't let that scare you. You're also not dealing with the storage, the employees, returns, or bulk orders. And even with the tighter margins, you make great money in POD because no one else factors in those warehouses, which, like I said in the beginning, cost me 10 grand a month. And even when I moved everything to a 3PL, it was still pricey. See, the key is to price smart and make sure that you're profiting at least 20% after everything. Don't go lower, ever. That means a minimum of 20% after all expenses. Now, not some, all, including your ad spend, which a lot of people forget. This is the lowest you can go with POD and create financial freedom. So don't drop it below that and expect you're gonna make millions of dollars because you're gonna be chasing money forever if you do that. 20% is the lowest net profit you should aim for. And trust me, you'll thank me later. Now, number 9 is you're not gonna get rich overnight. See, too many people think this is a lottery ticket. It's not, it's a business. It takes time, strategy, and failure to succeed. You're not gonna post one shirt and become an instant millionaire. You've gotta learn what your audience wants. You've gotta test designs. You've gotta build trust. And all of that takes time. So if you're expecting instant success, you're gonna be pissed off real quick. See, you're building something real here, not chasing likes or viral moments. I need you to stay consistent and your time will come. Don't treat this like a get-rich-quick scheme, or you'll be out before you even start. Number 10 is trends are going to trap you. Stop chasing what's hot. Seriously, every time you think that you caught that trend, it's already too late. That viral tea on TikTok, it's gone. It's saturated now. Trends move fast and they burn out even faster. One minute you're making 100 sales a day, and then the next, crickets. And all that work, all those hours, worthless now. The better move is building evergreen designs and products that sell all year round. Learn your niche. Learn what people actually want, not just what's hot this month. Trends are for people looking for quick hits, not sustainable success, give me a little bit of money, and then beg for more. See, you need to trust me. When you chase money, it will run faster than you ever can. So stop chasing it and make it come to you. Now, number 11, you'll work harder than you ever expected. See, everyone out here on YouTube makes it seem like it's easy. And it is, depending on what you're doing. Creating a store, creating designs, launching it, that's all simple stuff. However, you do have to remember that most of us have been doing this for years. So when I show you something online, I could do it in minutes. However, it may take you hours or days. Even launching a new store. If I launched one right now, I can make money very quickly. But someone who's just getting started isn't going to experience that same success. not at least right away, which means you have to put the time and effort into it. See, the more you work and the more you put into learning this industry, then the more money you're going to make. But here's the key. You need to learn what the consumer wants, not base your learning around your ego. Just because you think it's a good design doesn't mean they do. Now, number 12 is items being sold out. This one sucks. Let's say you have a product that really took off. I mean, that money is flowing in. You have a smile ear to ear and you're ready to throw the cash on the bed and just swim in it. But then, out of nowhere, you get an email. This item is now out of stock. Your heart sinks. You feel let down. All that hard work for nothing. And this happens to everyone, especially with print on demand, which is exactly why you need to have a backup plan. If you're selling a t-shirt, mug, phone case, it doesn't even matter. Always have a plan. Whatever it is, have a second production partner ready. This is crucial. This way, no matter what happens with your first supplier, you're prepared if something goes wrong. And if that item takes off, you're not going to be left dry. Number 13, treat this like a business, not a side hustle. See, too many people treat this like it's just a little side hustle. And yes, it's one of the easiest paths to passive income, but there's still work involved. You have to create designs. You have to keep up with the shipping. You need to make sure that your customers are happy and respond to them if needed. Send out emails, do your social media, all of it. And sure, most of this can be automated, but you still have to build the whole system and make sure it works. If you're expecting to just launch a POD business and then just throw your feet up, that's not gonna happen, and you're gonna be extremely disappointed. You're gonna realize really quickly that this shit actually takes work. So don't listen to anybody that says, click one button and you're good to go, because that is not true. Number 14 is creative burnout. That's a real thing. Sometimes our minds just can't think straight. You've got ideas flowing in, but the second you sit in front of the computer, nothing. You go blank, and it happens from time to time, and even at the worst times. But one thing I want to make sure is you don't copy someone when that happens, just because you hit a creative block. Even when you're feeling stuck, there are ways around it. I even made a video about this a couple months ago. How to reset your creativity by just looking at different designs for inspiration and not duplicating them. I started that video with no idea what I was even going to create. And by the end of it, I had 2 designs ready to go. It's not hard. You just need to jumpstart your mind. And burnout can make you feel discouraged. And that's the last thing that you want. You want to stay in a creative state, not one that makes you feel like this whole thing was just a mistake. So take your time, let your mind reset. And if you need some direction, go check out that video. I promise it'll definitely help you. Number 15 is you're gonna fail a lot. See, every business fails. Most people never succeed because they create this vision in their head, this perfect gold-plated idea. And when it doesn't go exactly the way that they thought, they give up. They don't want to put in the work. They don't want to give it time. And that's what leads to failure. Even if you have the best product in the world and you know what you're doing, you may still fail. See, I failed 9 times in business. And that doesn't mean that they weren't successful. It just didn't make me the money that I was looking for to live the life that I wanted. See, chasing 100 grand a year isn't much to me. That might be great money for you, and that's okay. But either way, I saw those businesses as failures. But each one taught me what not to do. Each one made the next one twice as fast, and I was able to profit twice as fast. After years of perfecting this, I was able to build my first $1 million business. And each one I launch comes at a faster rate. It all comes down to understanding what you're doing is going to fail sometimes. But you learn from those mistakes and you level up. Remember, life happens for you, not to you. Everything is a step in the right direction, even when it may not feel like it at the time. Now, number 16, there's no guaranteed formula. What worked for me or someone else may not work for you. Now, sure, I can get you there and much further, absolutely. But my style and process might be completely different than the one you're going to take, which means you may not get those same results unless you follow them to a T. You have to hone in what you're good at. Use that to your advantage and expand from there. See, if you're constantly comparing yourself to someone else's success without understanding how they even got there, then it's just a rat chasing the cheese. You might finally get it, but now you're kind of stuck in a trap. So instead of thinking that there's some one-size-fits-all way of thinking, start asking, What's the fastest, smartest way I can do this? Keyword I. Then build it your way. Take the things that I say or somebody else that is successful and see how you can use that for your own business and your own success. Don't try to replicate what we've done because each one of us has a skill set and my skill set may be different than yours. And if it is, you're never going to get that same result because I did something one way and you're going to do it a different way. Keep that in mind. Now, number 17 is if you don't understand SEO, then you are invisible. See, most people don't even know what SEO means. It stands for search engine optimization, and it's the difference between getting found and being completely ignored. You need to know what your customers are actually searching for and what they're typing in. Whether it's Google, Etsy, or Amazon, it all comes down to the keywords that they type. But most people just throw out these broad keywords and hope for the best. That's how you end up with a monkey t-shirt listed under just the keyword shirt. Sure, someone searching shirt is going to see your listing and product. But if they don't want monkeys on their shirt, they keep scrolling. That's why you have to learn SEO. Know what your customers are typing and know how they think. If you can master that, then you'll never be invincible again. And that leads us into number 18. Know who your audience is. If you don't know who your audience is, then you're completely screwed. You'll be making random designs and launching random products, and your SEO is going to be a complete mess. See, every customer shops differently. Someone buying a mug is not the same person that's buying a phone case. They think differently. They type differently. Even age matters. A grandma is never going to search the same thing as a teenager would. So depending on your design and your product, your audience is going to shift. And once you lock that in, then selling anything changes. You'll know what to say, how to say it, where to put it, and how to price it. But this is how you become unstoppable, by knowing who you're selling to. Now, number 19, running ads without a strategy equals burning money. This ties directly back to what I just said about knowing your audience. If you don't know how to target people with ads, then you're basically just throwing money into the wind. Hell, you're probably better yet, just burn it, just light it on fire. Because when you run Facebook ads, they're gonna spend your money regardless. They don't care. You tell Facebook, hey, I wanna run this ad for $100. And guess what? They're gonna spend all $100, no matter what. So if those ads aren't going to the right people, they're just going to random ones, then you're not gonna make a single dollar back. And that's not Facebook's fault, that's yours. That's why before you run any kind of ad, you need a strategy. Figure out what product sells, where it sells best, who's buying it, and what kind of creative that audience would actually respond to. It matters when you're paying to get your product in front of the right people. Don't just wing it. You need to plan it. Otherwise, you're just burning money. Number 20, you'll need to market constantly. See, this isn't one and done type of thing. You can't just run a couple of ads, post a few times on social media and think, hey, I'm all good. You'll never be able to stop marketing. Whether it's Facebook ads, email lists, or social posts, you need to stay relevant. People are not going to remember you forever. You have to stay in front of their faces constantly if you want to keep the money flowing. Now, the good news is the more you do it, the easier it gets. Plus, as people start following you, it becomes clear what's working and what's not. And that tells you that you're on the right track. And yeah, a lot of this can actually be automated, which is great, but you still need a strategy, whether it's social media, emails, or ads. If there's no plan behind what you're doing, then you are going to be lost and you will lose money constantly. So always have a plan, not just next day, weeks, months, even years in advance. Know what you're going to post tomorrow and also next week. Don't just work from a day-to-day basis or else you will fail, not just at POD, but business in general. Now, number 21 is automate only when you've learned the hard way. See, I know that sounds kind of backwards, especially for me, because this channel is all about AI and automation. But here's the truth. If you haven't done it manually, then you don't know how to do it right. If you want to write a killer email and automate that, you better know how to write one first. Same with Facebook ads. If you don't know what makes a winning ad, then you shouldn't let AI just run with it. See, even though AI makes life easier, and it's very good, it doesn't understand everything that you're telling it. Because if you don't know what you're saying exactly, it doesn't either. And if your prompts aren't right, then guess what? It's not gonna take off. You're just automating garbage at that point and no one cares. Eventually, they're gonna click unsubscribe and your bank account is going to feel that. So master the skills first in some way, then automate it. Knowing what your customers like and then relaying that to ChatGPT is how you get AI to do the work for you. But don't expect Chatty to know who your customers are if you don't either. Number 22 is your followers matter, but not how you think. See, people often get so caught up with their follower count. I have 10,000. Oh, I have 100,000. Who gives a shit? If those 100,000 people aren't loyal or they're not buyers, then they're just taking up space. It's not about the quantity, it's about the quality. I've seen people make a ton of money with just 1,000 real followers. Meanwhile, someone else with 100,000 can't sell a single fucking product. It's because they built a following, not a community. And that comparison game will kill your momentum. If you keep leaning on those influencers thinking, hey, I need that. That's what I need to sell more. When really, you don't need it. You just need people who care. My leather company only had 2,000 Instagram followers, and I barely even posted. But I would repost my community's content all the time, and they loved it. That built trust, and they became my marketers. Their friends, their family, they told everybody about it, which led them to my brand. They sent the link to the people to show off the designs that I posted on my social media page for them. They pushed my content for me, which was actually theirs, and it was all free. And that turned it into millions of sales. Those 2,000 people worked harder for me than 200,000 fake followers ever would. So stop thinking about the number and think about the quality of people that follow you. Number 23, competition is ruthless. Look, you're not the only one trying to make money. You're not the only one with a dream of getting rich off of this. There are people watching everything you do, even from the beginning. And sometimes they're straight up copying your stuff. It sucks and it's frustrating, especially when you're new and you feel like someone bigger just stole your thunder. I've seen companies come in, see what someone small is doing, and boom, they replicate it, slap a budget behind it, and wipe them out completely. That is just business. It's cold, it's competitive, and it's the same reason McDonald's always builds across from Burger King. They want to take their customers. But one thing you need to do is don't get emotional about it. Get smarter. And that's where number 24 comes in. The grass is not always greener. See, when stuff like that happens, people immediately start looking at their competitors. You're looking over the fence at their green grass, comparing it to your dying lawn. But here's the thing. Your grass is dead because you stopped watering it. You were so focused on them that you neglected your own business. And then what? You blame the competitor for your failure. No, that's not you. Don't do that. Keep your head down. Focus on your business. Water your side of the fence. Eventually, you'll be the one with the greenest grass in the whole industry, and everyone else will be looking at you. And if you're worried about people trying to copy your products, screw them. Trust me, they're always going to be behind. You're the one with the ideas, and they're just playing catch up. Think about it. How many ideas do you already have in your head? Meanwhile, the one that they're copying, you launched a couple months ago. You're so far beyond them. So stop comparing yourself to them. Now, number 25, your friends and family aren't gonna get it. And this one is tough. See, when you first start something new, you expect immediate support. But instead, a lot of people are gonna push their fears onto you. They're gonna say things like, why don't you just get a job? That's risky. Are you sure about this? And here's the truth. A lot of them wanted to do what you're doing right now, but they didn't. Or they tried and they failed, and now they're trying to project that fear onto you. And let me be clear here. They are not paying your bills. So I don't care what they think, and you shouldn't either. If someone is constantly doubting you and tears your business down or tries to make you feel small in any way, stop talking to them. You don't need that negativity in your life. You don't need their approval. You need space to grow. See, losers talk. Entrepreneurs, we build. So go out there and build the life of your dreams. And I know you will. If you have any questions, please leave me a comment below. You know I love to hear from you. Thank you so much for watching. Talk to you soon.